Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. This is actually going to be my last Maker Monday video of the year because we are lucky enough to get new carpet in our library this year during the summer. So it's really exciting, but we also have to pack up everything. So it's going to be a busy rest of the school year. So before we get started with our idea, I kind of wanted to just encourage you, if you are looking forward to next year, if you're trying to decide makerspace, or if you're trying to figure out your makerspace and make it better, I just wanted to let you know that, a lot of times on social media, on Twitter and on Facebook, we post all the awesome things we're doing. Like I post all these really cool structures of Kiva planks, and I post all the really cool little bits things that my kids built and all the really neat Lego structures. But we don't talk about sometimes is the things that kind of bomb and totally fail. Sometimes I don't give clear enough instructions. Sometimes I don't have that great of an idea. Sometimes the kids are just acting crazy and nothing will work that day. So a lot of times, when I look at other people's Twitter and Facebook accounts, I think to myself, like, I'm never going to be as good as them. Why am I even trying? But the truth is that as long as you're trying and you have the kids in mind, that can never be a bad thing. So I just want to encourage you to keep trying, to keep going for it. And it's really going to benefit your kids. So keep it up. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is Tinkercad.com. I've talked to you guys about it before with the circuits, and today I wanted to show you the 3D feature and the Lego feature. This is the only thing I'm showing just because there's so much to talk about. So even if you don't have a 3D printer, it's got some really cool things. So when you go to Tinkercad.com and you create a new design, it's going to look like this. And when you do that, you can build, let's just build a really easy house. So you can get a box and you can drag it onto your little plane right here. Awesome. It's a beautiful bottom little box. Wonderful. Then I want to add a roof. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab this roof and I'm going to bring it over and I am going to put it on my house. And it's going to look amazing. And it looks really good right there. But what the kids don't understand and what they're going to have to figure out is that you have to rotate it around, because just because it looks really good right here doesn't mean that it's actually good. Because if you look really closely, it's not actually touching the square and it's not centered. So what I like to do, just because it makes it easier for me, is I actually like to use the arrow keys, because I feel like once I use the mouse, things just kind of go off the rails. So I'm just pressing the up, down, side to side arrow buttons. Because if not, if you just grab it, it's kind of really easy to just swing it around everywhere. So I tend to just use the arrow keys to nudge it around. So that's awesome. But now when we look, we see that there's still a space. And if you're printing and there's a space, the printer's kind of going to go crazy because it's not going to know how to print out a space. So let's say that that's our house and that we love it and it's great and it's the house we've always dreamed of and it's beautiful. So that would be how we create our 3D model. And it's actually pretty easy and kids can make pretty intricate things with it. I had a 5th grader last year who did an AT-AT walker all out of just basic shapes on Tinkercad. And it was pretty amazing. And we learned a lot about, what pieces to print and how to print them, but it was pretty amazing what she could do. So that's the basics of doing your 3D modeling. Kids can create really intricate things. It's pretty amazing. And then after you do that, you're going to export for printing and then print it on your 3D printer. If you don't have a 3D printer, this is still really cool for the kids to mess around with and kind of get a feel for how to design things in 3D. So the other thing I wanted to show you is the Lego feature. So let's say I built this really cool house and I love it so much and I want to turn it into a Lego feature, because I might not have a 3D printer, but I do have Legos. So after the kids build something on here, they can go to bricks and it will brickify your design. Now that doesn't look like anything, but if we click here, it's a second level, makes it a little more intricate. And if we click the third level, then that really does look like what we created. And if you go to layers, it'll tell you how to build it layer by layer. You can see what kind of bricks you need and what it's supposed to look like all the way through the layers. Now, when you go to Tinkercad, originally, when you open it up and look for things like, let's look for a dog. And you look for things like dogs. These are all users, so don't click those. But at the bottom, let's see if we can find a really easy, basic dog. I really, okay. All right, so let's click this basic dog. And when we click it and it pops up, it might take a while. We're going to have to wait. We're going to click duplicate and tinker. You could just hit 3D print, but what are the kids going to learn from that? But if you really wanted to, I guess you could. So anyway, there's this, and the kids can edit it to 3D print it if they wanted to. Or if you wanted to, the kids could actually create a Lego model out of it, and it would show them how to build it. Like I said, this looks nothing like the dog, but if we click the most intricate one, then it's pretty cool. I mean, there's the little ears, there's the tail in the back, there's the nose and the eyes. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty cool, and the kids can work on it. And if you look at your layers, it's 15 layers, and it shows us how to build them all. And we can zoom in to see the layers better. And then we'll look at the next layer and the next layer and the next layer. And then finally, we'll have our adorable little doggy. So those are the two really cool features in Tinkercad, creating things with 3D shapes and creating 3D models that you can print, and also turning those 3D models into Lego models that the kids can create even if you don't have a 3D printer available to you. It's just a nice experience for them. I'm sure there are a lot more really cool tools that Tinkercad has that I have not gotten to. I'm sure there are other experts way better than this at me and at this than me, and I'm sure you're rolling your eyes at me at how basic that explanation was. But for those of you who are just getting started, I hope it helped, and I hope you have a wonderful summer break. And please contact me with any questions or any kind of collaborating opportunities, and I will see you guys when next school year starts. Have a wonderful summer. Bye, guys.